Hi everyone, my name is Kendrick and welcome to ENFP Mail. Today I get to interview Luva. Did I say your name right again?
Yeah, it was good enough. Luve is my name. Luve.
Luva. Luva. Okay, because people, I guess in the US will probably just say love, right?
Yeah, I've been called Love since I was like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. So recently you got officially typed as an ISTP, but can you tell us what exact ISTP type you are? So give us your animals and sexual modalities.
All right. Dave Chan typed me as a Ti-Ni, sleep, blast, play, consume, and I was very surprised. But it's been like a week now, and yeah, it's been I I I've not gave one moment of rest not thinking about this. Yeah, it's been uh, it's been something to digest. Yeah.
What about your sexual modalities?
Um, yeah, my sexual modalities was MF. So masculine TI and masculine SE, feminine F NI and feminine FE.
Got it. So when you got your type back, what did you think and how did you feel?
Uh, I was surprised that it was sleep first because over this year since I joined back in like June of 2018, and I've been from start I've been in the EP section when I was typing myself for sure. I've always thought myself as an ENFP, and my typing partner and he was always into me being an IP, and I was like I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it at all. I thought myself as an EP all the way through, and and yeah, but he was also sure that I was FI. So we were our common ground was FI. Um, so we were a bit confused. But anyhow, at the end, before I got typed, I was feeling that it it FETI axis felt more accurate somehow. I didn't have that much arguments for it, but it was a hinge, so to speak. And my last final guesses was any FE or FE any play first, but that's the peacocking thing, I guess.
Yeah, because you have play as a demon, right? It's third.
Yeah, 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 it's the third, and it makes a lot of sense now after a week of processing this, but yeah, I totally fooled myself there. Yeah.
You do have that you do have that ENFP, red hair look. Like you seem like you kind of have red hair, like kind of.
I do have some straws of red in my beard,
Yeah,
but it's not definitely not full red.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You look similar to that Seamus guy in their documents. Like the ENFP guy called Seamus. They had it on his document. So when I saw you come out in video, I was like, oh, you look similar to that, kind of similar to him.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, but yeah, yeah. I've been into that. I've been thinking the same,
Yeah.
very much.
So you have double activated FE. So do you feel like FE is not a big problem for you? Like it's not your biggest problem?
FE is the thing that I'm most concerned about all the time. Definitely, like I'm always like I'm in the I'm I'm in different groups of people where at work, and I have different groups of friends, and I've always felt like I'm in the group, but I always felt like not in the group somehow. So, and I'm always like I'm always like uh, scanning the room to see if like the and it makes sense that it is FE and not TE because I'm always scanning. I'm the first one to notice if someone is off what their usual state, so to speak, in the tribe. I'm paying a lot of attention to to see what state other people are in. Um, yeah, so it is my biggest concern when
So
I'm in the group.
because you're a single decider, you have supposedly people problems, right? Like you're afraid of tribe hate. Does that sound about right to you?
Um, yeah. The fear has been for tribe definitely because I have always been very sure in what I think about every situation I'm in. I have no problem to stand like uh, secure on my feet, so to speak. But I don't know how the rest of the tribe is rationalizing their reality. So that's the lack of control that I have, I guess. I don't know how other people are rationalizing the situation, and therefore I need to pay extra attention to that, something like that.
Now, because you are an IPIJ, would you say you're very controlling then? It's,
Uh, I've been processing this the last week, so it's not like put in stone yet.
yeah,
But I do feel like all my life I've had this issue that I need to control myself. Like I need to. It doesn't matter what happens outside. I need to. I need to. I need to be uh, like efficient, and I need to be like good in whatever happens to me because I cannot control what's happening to me. So I need to be good in whatever happens, and that means that the only thing that I can control is how I react to what's happening. So so and I felt that from a very early age somehow. So whenever I'm out in the group, it's more like the thing that made me think that I was like playful and loose is nothing more than I I just allow the madness. Do you understand? Like I allow the chaos that's going on. It's not like it's not my responsibility, but when the shit is the fan, I want to be like I want to know what's going on. So whatever happens, I'm like always projecting what's going on, but I'm not. I control myself so much that I won't. It's hard. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
well,
Um,
it sounds like you're fairly balanced with chaos and control. Like it's you're a double observer, right? So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um
So
so
and that's also makes sense because every critical situation I've been in is like I thrive in when when shit hits the fan. That's the only time when I get like like when where my actions get like what I yeah
you're
I
more
yeah
you're more focused. You're more focused, you mean, when shit hits the
yeah
fan.
that's the only this the only time I get present. Like otherwise I'm just like I thought I was observing, but I was like always like okay, this is how we do it in this tribe, and this is okay, this is how it works in this tribe, and this is how it works in this working space. And I'm always like, it's not like I'm not even concerned that we are going the best, most efficient way because I'm just my baseline is just like it's chaos. So it's like I'm gonna I'm gonna have to handle this chaos somehow when the tribe wants me to handle the chaos. But before then, I allow like the tribe to figure it out, so to speak. But when the shit is the fan and people start to shake or something, then that's my time.
Got it. Um, you have demon consume, which ironically is your top two
Yeah.
functions, which is weird because that's your top two functions, right? So would you say it's not going to be your biggest problem, even though it's your fourth demon animal just because it's your top two functions. And the order stack for the functions still matter, right? In terms of their strength. Um, so what's your relationship with consume then, having it as a demon, your fourth demon, but top two functions?
Ah, that's a hard one. I always thought myself as a sponge when it comes to information, but yeah, when I think about it, it's only the things that I'm interested in, and and if if I don't, if it if the info can come from like any source, and if I'm not aligned with it, I just it, I have a very hard time to respect the information. That makes sense because I'm like it's very hard to like switch my opinion. So my what I believe to be true. I look for the truth everywhere, but uh, I'm always between the lines, and I make my own. I'm very yeah. It's tricky because I guess it's because I'm building so much on what I know from before. I something like that.
Now you are an NT, so are you always seeking reasons and making sure that everything makes sense? Is that something that you're obsessed over?
Yeah. It's differently from my dear friend and typing partner Martin, who is TISE. I'm not. It, it's not. It's very hard for me to like block building. I'm not block building in the same way. It's like I'm looking for the framework. I don't believe that much in. Uh, I'm looking at like here's an extreme and here's an extreme, and I'm like I need to balance these in between, and it's very hard for me to tell anything like this is how it is. I struggle there because there in my head there is never any closure in anything. I just triangulate until I get pretty much bored of the question. So
Is,
yeah,
is that is that because you have feminine NI? Would you say?
yeah, mind like water, man. Mind like water. That's I'm like yeah. I, when I heard that, oh, that makes so much sense. It's never closure anywhere, and it was I had a tendency to be a bit neurotic more neurotic back in the day. Today I'm not. I'm just neurotic when I have to tell people how it is.
Now you do have double feminine blast, so and it's also NF. So what's a double feminine blast NF like? It's also your
Uh,
savior. So do you talk about like energies or crystals or self development or any of that stuff like to people?
I kind of believe that all that to me it almost sounds like uh, demon NF blast or something like that. I don't know, but I'm very much harmony based. So whenever I talk, it's almost always about harmony and and stuff like that, and tribe harmony, and and um, and and I very much talk about respecting other people's framework and yeah yeah I I'm very interested in the motivations of other people and what makes them motivated to do whatever. I've always been very like like I think it's beautiful somehow. Like I think that's the most like like yeah it's in life I consider other people to be the most interesting thing there is, and how what we're doing on this earth, and a lot of those things. And I realized a long time ago that people were either happy or sad 2,000 years ago, and people are either happy or sad today, and people are either happy or sad in worst scenarios, like in in some starving countries in Africa, and so just because we're living in it doesn't matter that much. We all have different what we tell ourselves, and how if we make ourselves happy and all that. I'm interested in those kinds of things, and to see where the edges of the conceptual comfort zone is, and where people struggle and such. Yeah, of course I'm not telling them all the time, but that's what I'm paying attention to. Yeah.
Have you watched INFJs use their blast and seen if your blast is very similar to their blast? Because INFJs and ISTPs have the same function stack, right? Just different order. But your blast is going to be like an INFJ's blast, like even like let's say GSP, for example, the UFC fighter, or someone else that might have Darren Brown, or I think is that her name? Is that his name? Anyways, so do you feel like your blast is very similar to the way that INFJs would blast?
Yes and no. Hmm. Uh, I think that an INFJ is reacting earlier than I do when they see something wrong going on. I'm more passive.
And do you think that's this direct result of having FE fourth? So it's not something that you use first, it's something you use later on, after you've taken the time to process whatever happened.
Yeah, probably. Because first of all, I'm just I'm responsible for the consequences of where this is heading. So I need to figure that shit out first.
Gotcha. Now you have double masculine consume, and it's fourth. So what's that? How does that differ from, or how's that affected you because you have double masculine consume?
Um, well, I know for sure that I have procrastinated pretty much every homework since first grade. Yeah, I have a very hard time to take in anything that I don't like. Uh, I'm interested in so much, so many different things, but if the structure of the like I was very hooked on to the mad at the system of the schooling system in Sweden. I thought it was too slow because when I am interested in something, I just hone in on it and I want the next lecture directly after the last lecture. So if we have a course in 10 weeks, I would like to compromise it in 2 weeks because if we have if there's some questions in my head on Tuesday afternoon and I have to wait until Thursday morning to get the answer. Like I'm off to some place, some other place during the Wednesday, and then on Thursday I'm like, oh, whatever, this is too slow. So I've been, I've been, yeah, it's weird. It's also I'm not bored that much. It's just like if the sensory is boring, the things that I'm taking, I'm just switching to something else. So it's not. I have a hard time to concentrate if it's not matching my pace or something like that. So and then I have a hard time to switch. So whatever I'm interested in now, and then I'm trying to get interested in other stuff, but then yeah, it, it gets away.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that.
I do agree with you that the school system is kind of slow. Like, it's better to just. So I'm gonna guess then that you prefer to have something more intense, like more immersive, as opposed to something that takes like 3 months, when you can immerse yourself on this one subject for the next 1 or 2 months, get it over with, it's finished, and then move on. Or do you prefer to just immerse yourself long term? Like because you do have NI, right? So you prefer to stick to do you prefer to stick to one topic then long term, or do you?
Uh, yeah, I am. It's in the same category, of course. It's not. It's very wide because it's like I like personal development and I like philosophy, and those are wide areas, right? So, but I have a hard time to like pay attention to everyday stuff and things that other people think is important, which is important. I just have a very hard time to like spend time in the sensory and and produce the results that my idealistic head is like seeing as the most efficient answer to my problem. But otherwise, I'm not sure. I've been. I don't know. I've been the biggest quest I've had that I want to is like existential stuff with in the philosophy, like about life and death, and I've had a very hard time to like find the closure in those big questions that I've had. But now I've triangulated enough, so I'm bored at it. So I'm moving on. Yeah.
Gotcha. Um, David Shan said that double observers have problems with pain and double deciders have problems with fear. So your pain is going to come from FE, which is the tribe essentially. So what kind of pain would you say you would be avoiding or that you have problems with in relates to your FE perhaps, or just in general, what kind of pain would you say that you would try to
Uh,
avoid?
yeah, I'm trying to avoid. Like I've always been like, uh, I I don't I have like, even though I'm a people person like that, like IPs, I never internally or outwardly told anyone that they are idiots or something like that. I'm not thinking like that. It's like, so it's not it's so whenever I've hurt someone, it has been without my intentions of hurting them. And then when I see their pain from me hurting them, I feel that very, very much as well. And and that is my biggest struggle, I guess. That's definitely the most pain that I've felt, is me hurting someone else without me knowing it, and then I realize I've hurt them. That that's the biggest pain.
So it seems like because you have double activated FE, that you're more empathetic to other people than like a typical IP then as a result. So you're relatively more balanced, would you say?
Uh, I, I don't know, because it feels like I can't I don't, it's like I don't understand it, but I feel it. So I, when I scan the room, if I see someone is sad, and I see like, even though I can see the scenario, that okay, that scenario wouldn't bother me at all, but I know what kind of pain he's feeling, and I know when I feel that pain, and and therefore I feel with them, I don't want him to feel that, or her, or something like that. So even though the circumstances are different, I see the pain, and I don't like that. So I accept whatever framework they have for their pain. I don't. So I guess that empathy, I guess.
Yeah, that's what sounds like. It's empathy. Like you have
Yeah.
empathy. Um, did when you got your type back, did they say that SE is your biggest problem then?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew sensory was executing in the real world. It was my biggest. That's why I thought I was an ENFP, because I felt like I was all over the place and never able to commit to my ideals about reality. Like I have I have plans for training and money. Like I have big systems for how to save money, and how to like work out and all that. I know how to do like most things, but the habits of getting it done is my biggest. And the same with the efficiency at home with the chores and all that. And it's like, it's so annoying to like to know that you're doing wrong and not be able to do anything about it. That's like, it's, it's so annoying. You can't even you I don't get satisfied even using my like what I like doing, because I know that I need to do that thing, but still I'm not doing it, and it's devastating. It's an internal. nightmare.
So you're kind of like the weird ISTP that has trouble with sensory. Because usually ISTPs, that would be one of their strongest point, right? Which would be the sensory. So for you, it's ironically, in a very weird way, it's very difficult for you, even though it's your second um i-
Yeah,
the function
it's
stack.
it's easy. It's easy for me to like see what needs to be done, but
Yeah.
if it's not like, if it's if it's no like skin in the game, so to speak, then it's like, ah, I just get so bored. Like it's because I'm trapped in this like triangulation in everything, and that takes so much effort, and that's what I'm getting dopamine from, or something like that. And when I need to like pay attention to where my hands are and where to put everything, it's it's like uh, it's it, it's draining me very much.
So it sounds like to me that you like the tribe, like you do
I,
like, yeah, you don't have a bad I guess attitude
yeah,
towards the tribe. You actually like it. But
I
you are,
love people.
yeah, you are in Sweden though, and in Sweden I heard that people like their personal space there. So, and you're more
I'm not one of I'm
was that
not one of them. As soon as I leave my apartment, I'm like all for the tribe. Like whatever chaos you're up to, I'm with you guys
yeah,
until we can paddle to the fucking waterfall, and I will join you until you realize we are heading to the waterfall. I know we're heading to the waterfall. I'm trying to tell you, but I will sit here and smile, rowing towards the waterfall until you guys realize we're going to the waterfall, and then we can try to get away from it. But also, when I'm leaving my apartment, I have no problem with eye contact, and I say hello to people, and I, I yeah, I fucking love people. That's yeah. I'm always about this. Yeah, and then I see people are get very much stuck in themselves,
yeah.
and I feel sad about that. So I'm trying to like get them out into reality, even though I'm the one who's stuck in not reality. It's so weird.
Yeah, that is weird. So you would say you're not very, like, you don't really follow the Swedish culture that much. You kind of you deviate from it a little bit because you think that you're headed towards a waterfall. Does that sounds about right?
Yeah, I've already processed that shit, and when the shit hits the fan and people start to shake, then I'm gonna pick them up.
Yeah. So okay. So one of the things I guess in the past few years that's been happening in Sweden is that you have the immigration problem, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah, you've heard about it. It's a big. It seems to be a big issue for a lot of Swedes. Yes.
yeah. So would you say that racism has increased a lot in Sweden after the mass immigration?
No, they're just out in the open.
It's out in what is out in open?
Yeah, the racists, I guess.
Oh yeah, you mean,
People were racist. They were racist before, but now they are triggered to show it.
oh, I see, I see, got it. Got it. That's interesting. Yeah. And how does that make you feel? Like the racist, the open racism thing in Sweden?
Actually, I've been processing it, uh, and and I know it's stupid, and but at the same time, like it's it's weird. People, when people get afraid, people are like uh, getting more like uh, yeah, bigger walls, and that's the thing they have to like pull down. But it's like it's more like I guess it's more like that we don't trust our politicians. I think that's more the case, that we can't trust. There is no visions for our from our politicians. That I think is the biggest problem, because people want leadership, and whenever we put on the TV, and and we see these politicians who has no visions whatsoever, then people get a bit afraid because they see that we are walking into something that we don't know about anything about.
Yeah.
Like it's not like yesterday, and and then when the leadership is not showing any vision, like it's bullshit. It's yeah, it's uh, it's so it's so obvious to me somehow. And of course, we don't have uh, uh, the government and all that. They don't have too much money, so we have a problem with people. Like the elderly people, they are not getting as much in retirement as they thought they would. Like they worked all their life to get like a good, decent retirement, and now the politicians are taking from that budget to, you see, like the planning. Yeah, the people are getting not getting what they thought, what they wanted from the beginning, and they need to project the problem. But we do have a problem with, absolutely, with the immigration. We have this young gang of boys between the ages of 15 to 20 from Afghanistan and different areas, and they're making a mess. Um, but it's our fault, definitely.
So first of all, it sounds like Sweden needs an INTJ like president or something to come up with like a long-term vision and plan, you know. Um,
Yeah,
because it sounds like your whatever prime minister or president that you may have might not have N dominant. You know, it must have must have N as a demon perhaps. Um, but then you can't.
but also the opposite side from the immigration, that those who think that that's the main issue, they are the environmentalists who are very idealistic with Greta Thunberg and all that. So that's the opposite. So 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 we have like these ones who wants to throw everything into like uh, yeah um, so there's no communication in between, and I'm just standing in the middle and looking. I understand you guys, and I'm not taking sides. So it's like it's so bullshit.
Yeah, but if you do, I mean, Sweden is in a weird situation because Sweden was the one that opened their doors to the immigrants to begin with, and then when the immigrants came, you can't deny the facts. The fact says that the immigrants did cause the crime rate to go up. So
Yeah, it is.
but then now it's hard to
So
fix, you know.
it will definitely take almost like 30 years to get into control somehow. I
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird. They should have um, they wanted to show leadership, I guess, to other countries in taking in immigration, of course. But then when since the amount was so much more than other countries, then they had a hard time to like turn around and see, okay, we have to control the situation before we can take in more. But then, of course, if we are looking at it in an idealistic way, then like if they come from trouble areas and all that, so it's a balance, I guess, and most people are not suffering that much, to be honest.
yeah, but to me, it still sounds like an end problem because they didn't plan ahead how they would have integrated the immigrants into society, right? Because obviously you have a different society, and so do they, and they don't think they're doing anything wrong, you know.
No, the Swedes are, and we have this the Swedish model, and see, we have been a very homogen people for a very long time. Like we've been Swedes. The state have just told us some information, and we just bought it. And it's been like that since the beginning, a socialist country for what, almost like more than 100 years. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's it, yeah. So I process it. I'm fine. I have no feelings for it whatsoever inside. I see where it's going, but it's not like I have the existential crisis about it. Yeah,
So it does
but
bother you.
it does bother me that people. that people can't talk about the issue. They choose camps. It annoys me.
It
They're,
annoys me that they don't want to talk about it openly, or what's
they choose camps, and people choosing camps is not a
choosing
good
sides.
thing
Choosing,
for diplomacy and such.
gotcha. You mean choosing sides? You mean that's the biggest problem?
Yeah, because they choose a camp, so they don't have to handle their uh, question. They don't have to question themselves if they have made closure in what they believe. And here I sit with no closure, and I'm fine with that as well. So, but I would like some good communication between the leaders and be honest and transparent to the people in real discussions, and not just symbol signaling or something like that.
So would you say the problem is EJs then? Because EJs is like us versus them, right? So
I'm not going there, man. I'm not going.
I brought it up because I'm a double decider. So for me, I don't feel uncomfortable with this topic, but I just want
There's
I just wanted to see how you were. So
it's not like that. It's just I suffer with the EJs also there because they think that it's important that they make actions in the right way before, but they don't realize that they haven't arrived at a worthy conclusion yet, I guess.
gotcha. All right, man. So I have two last questions for you. My first last question for you is: you are an IP that has a positive attitude towards the tribe, and you also have double activated FE. So you're going to be better than most IP at dealing with the tribe. So what advice can you give other IPs or other ISTPs who are having issues with tribe hate, and they might not be even aware that they're getting tribe hate, but they are? So how do you think they can improve themselves? Work on personal development, have less tribe hate, and overall be a more effective ISTP.
That's a hard one, but I guess um, I think to balance it out a bit, their rational thinking is to realize that their rational thinking is a defense mechanism,
Oh, interesting. It's a
or
defense mechanism.
from not feeling. So if they realize that is holding them back from balance with feelings and such, and realizing, be harsh to themselves and tell themselves that rational closure and all that is a defense mechanism from not taking part and feel on on the issue.
Gotcha. My last question to you is, we have completely different functions. Do you have any questions about any functions that you may not have, like NE, FI, TE, or SI? Because we have complete opposite functions.
I've noticed in some lead TEs, the EJs, I have some very close to me in my family, and it feels like their demon FI is somehow the only, like uh, it's very, it's like it's non-negotiable. It and but they as and they are like projecting arguments to to they cannot question their FI, as that's like the uh, written in stone, so to speak, and then they are just adjusting the arguments to feel comfy about that. And I'm wondering, as uh, an FI savior, I'm wondering how much you are questioning your FI, or if it's um, a solid FI, or is it if it's something that you question?
I have FI as a demon actually. I'm
You
NE.
have, you have it as a you have it as a that's true. That's true.
I'm NET. But I'm a double decider. So, and it's also masculine. So my FI and T is relatively balanced. T a little bit more than FI, but no, I use my FI and T quite a bit. It's like I do use them in a balance. Like I always question, okay, how do I feel about this situation? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Do I make a decision for me, or do I want to appease the tribe? You know, so I'm always having that internal battle where is it? Yeah.
But say for example that you know that, okay, I'm doing this for me. I know that this is what I want.
Right.
Do you ever ask yourself why you want that?
I do. I have, but sometimes there's no reason behind it. Sometimes I just like it. I just like it.
Yeah. I buy it. I buy it a lot. I'm a bit yeah. I would like that.
You would like what?
I would like to know what I like.
You want the reason. You want the reason why you like something.
I don't want the reason. I just question. Is it I I like it? That doesn't mean like it's right. You understand? It's not, and I can't argue with myself. Like it's never closure. I just it's very hard for me to like. I like this, and that's fine. It's hard. I struggle there. I do.
I'll give you an example. An INTJ recently asked me, because I told this INTJ I like WWE wrestling. I don't know if you know like, do you know WWE wrestling? Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that shit, right? So they're like, "Why do you like that?" And then my answer was like, "Because it's fucking awesome." That was my answer. You know?
Fine. Then you just I like that because you share your framework. Like, okay, Kenrick, okay, he likes this, and okay, then okay, then that's a factor in my head. Like, oh, nice, then I know that. But for me, I'm like, what the fuck do I like? And I know a lot of things that I like, but it's always changing. Maybe it's yeah, it's I don't know. I like this abstract stuff like harmony in the group. I see if people are feeling good, then I'm great.
Yeah.
Like something like that. And the rest is like, okay, if we have a share like that, or if the 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 wall has that paint, I that color, I'm not very good there. I can never decide.
Yeah. That's so interesting. That's interesting with the TI users is that, it's not something that you like. You're looking for the truth, right? It's a little bit different. So it's hard to.
it's delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
What is true?
one of my best friends in INTP, and I asked him the same question. I'm like, "What do you like?" He's like, "I don't know." Like, I was like, "How do you not know?"
I track the mind state if I'm like, okay, this I like, and this is this I'm okay. This is not what I would like to get up a bit now. Okay, even when I'm sad, I can be like, oh, I want to be sad, but then it's like, and then I'm tracking what kind of mind state I like, not it's maybe it's
That
I
is
don't know.
that is weird. All right, dude. Thanks for doing the interview today. I'm gonna post it up on YouTube pretty soon. So, thanks again. I'll say goodbye.
Thanks, man. Take care. It was fun. Thank you.
All right.